Hey friends, welcome to my channel. In this video we are diving into the world of web design using Figma. I will walk you through the step-by-step process of designing a professional looking website from scratch. By the end of this tutorial, you will have a solid foundation in using Figma to create stunning website designs. It's a great tool that can help you bring your design ideas to life and develop your web design skills. So let's get into it. Alright, here we are at figma.com. This is a place you can sign up for a free account or even a paid account. But for now, you will need a free account only. You can click on this button to sign up for a free account and use it on their website, or even you can download the software on your computer. I prefer to use it on my computer, so it's up to you. Once you have signed up on Figma, you can click on the starter files link in the description and open it up. Here on the left sidebar, we have elements of your design. Also, we have some tools including the move tool, scale, frames, sections, different shapes, and etc. And with this hand tool, we can move around in case you have lots of things. With this command tool, you can provide information about your design to your clients and your team members. So make sure to use it on your projects in the future. On the right sidebar, we find important information about our design, such as height, width, and corner radius. As you can see, by zooming a bit, we can adjust the corner radius from this panel. We can change it like this. In the next section, we can control the opacity of our designs. For example, if I change it to 50%, it will be like this. Here we have various options to modify our design, such as changing the colors, adding videos, or adding different images, or even applying gradients. Then here we can add borders to our shapes and adjust the border size and the border color like this, allowing us to make it thicker or thinner, or even we can add more borders to our shapes if we click on this button. As you can see, we will use it on our website later. In the effects panel, we can add various effects to our design, such as shadows, blur, and more. For example, if I choose layer blur here, we can apply more blur to our designs like this, but we don't want it right now, so I will remove it. In the export panel, we can export our images, icons, and sections in different kind of file formats like PNG or JPEG, and we can see the preview of the item here. In the color guide section, we can find essential information for our website, including a font family, font sizes, and color palettes used on the website. Then in the file section, we have all the images we use on the website, or even our logos and icons. If we look at our design, we can see that we have 4 different sections. But before we move to designing, I want to show you 2 things. First, with holding the shift key and moving the mouse wheel, you can zoom in and zoom out. Then with the holding space, you can move around like this. So let's create a new project. In here we have 2 options. If we click on this button, we will have a digital whiteboard where you and your team discover, explore, and execute ideas and discuss about it. But for designing a project, we need to click on this button. Okay, when you create a new project, the first step is to change its name. Then you can either click on the frame tool or simply press the F key. By doing so, you will find various frame sizes for different devices. You can even design posts for your Instagram and other social media platforms. However, for now, let's click on desktop to focus on that size. Okay, now I'd like to change the background of our project. From here, you can choose any color you like. I will set it to white and make our frame black to ensure visibility. Now I want to bring all the starter files into our project and save all the colors to make our design process easier. I will copy them and paste them into our project. As you can see, our website has a dark background. To set some local styles from the color guide, we will add them here. To add a color, select the color section, hold Ctrl or Command on a Mac, and click on the element. Then click on the 4 dots icon. Add the color, set a name, and click the Create a Style button. Now you can see our color has been added to our local styles. Now I will continue the process by doing the same for the remaining elements. Okay, now we have all the colors we want. Now I set our frame color to the background we need. But first, let me change the frame name. It is really important in the design process, so make sure you name all of your frames. Then select the frame and then select these 4 dots and choose the background color. Then I want to add a layout grid to our frame. What this does basically helps us to align objects within a frame, so we can make sure we have a clean and professional website. So we click on this button and then change the grid to columns. Count to 12, the color to FFFF, the opacity to 5%, the margin to 80, and the gutter to 30. Okay, now we can see that there is some space between our columns and our frame. It is really helpful for our design to be clean and professional. Okay, now I want to design our nav bar here. As you can see, we have a logo on the left side and some nav items in the middle. So now I want to copy our logo from the files and come back and paste it in our frame. Make sure you selected the frame before you paste the logo. And once you pasted the logo, make sure it has 32 pixel space from the top and 80 from the left. Okay, now it's time to add our nav items. We can hit T or click on this button. Our first item is home. And then make sure your font family is Poppins, so you can search it from here as well. Change it to medium, change the font size to 12, and change the letter spacing to 1.5. Okay, now if we hold Alt key or Option key on Mac and drag them using your mouse, we can duplicate our text. So let's change it to NFTs, and this one to activity. While you selected activity, you can hold Ctrl and D to duplicate the item and drag it to here. Now let's change the name to Marketplace. Now by holding Shift, let's select them all, or you can select it from here as well. Then we want to add auto layout. Auto layout is used to gain more control over the padding and alignment across your layout and to create a better responsive designs. For example, from here we can change the space between items. And there is another option in here if you don't like to add auto layouts. Now if you look at our nav items, what I like to do is to bring them in the middle of our website. So make sure you select our frame and it is inside of our home page. Then we simply hit this button here. Or by holding the frame and dragging them here, as you can see Figma helps us to check if it's in the middle or not. Now our home item has a different color and different font weight. So let's change the style of our home item. By changing the color to our primary gradient and making it bold, we can have the result. Then we need an underline for our text. So let's zoom a bit and simply we can hit L or go to this tool and select the line. Here hold Shift key and draw it like this. Then select it and change the color to our gradient color. Now let's create our button. Come here and hit T, then click it on our frame and type create. Then click outside of it to save and then bring it in the middle. Then right click and click on add auto layout or simply hit Shift and A together. Once you hit that, come here and change it to 0. because we only have one item inside it, so it won't change anything at all. Then come here and change horizontal padding to 37 and this one to 6 and set it to middle. Basically what this does is to make sure our content will stay in the middle of our design. And make sure it is on hug, because whenever we add text or make our button smaller, it will be responsive to it. Then scroll down a bit and add a border to our design. Once you add one, you should change the color to our gradient color. And then, when you hit this button, you can manually change the color if you want to. You can change the border size like this, but for now we want only one. Then scroll up a bit and change the corner radius to 22. If we change our text to anything, it will automatically change the width and height. Okay, let's undo things by holding Ctrl and hitting the Z key. Make sure to place it like this. Now let's just change the color of our text and change it to our main color. Okay, perfect. Now I want to group them all and name our navbar section. First, let's change their name so it makes sense to us. This one to button, this one to navbar items, and this one to logo. Great. Now we select them all and hold Ctrl and hit the G key. Or right click and select it from here and we rename it to navbar. And then we click each one and make sure they are aligned correctly in the whole group. But before we move on to the next section, I'd like to show you the alignment feature. If I draw a frame here, give it a color, and place it here for example, I can easily bring it to the center of our website. I just need to click on these alignment options up here, and as you can see, it perfectly aligns to the center. Okay, let's design our hero section. As you can see, we have some text and button, an image and some information on the right side. Now I hit T and paste our text here. Make sure the font family is Poppins and the font weight is semi-bold. Change the font size to 69. And then resize it like this. And then hover on our navbar and hold the Alt key and your up arrow key to bring them up and make the distance to 125. Great. Then make it to -2%. And then the line height to 125. Okay, now let's make sure it is like our final design. Now it is better. Now let's add our text here. And then hit outside of it. Let me show you something. If you don't click outside when you are typing and give it some styles, it won't affect it. You must click outside of it, then change the style. Now change the font size to 24. then font fade to regular, and then resize it like this. And then change the letter spacing to 0. And the line height to 147.5%. Then again, hover on our text, hold Alt key and the down arrow to make it 40. Maybe the letter spacing is better to be 2%. Now let's add our button here. Hit T and click on here. Then type explore and click outside of it. And then add auto layout to it. Change the horizontal padding to 65. And the vertical padding to 12. And add our gradient color to it. Then change the corner radius to 10. Then change the space between our button and our text to 40. Then while you selected our button, hold Alt key and drag it here. Now let's remove the background color and add a border to it. Select the text and change the color to our gradient. Change the text to create. Okay, let's see what we did. Our button should be white, so let's select it and change the color like this. Or even we can remove it and add a new color to it. Also, maybe it is better to change our button color to our P color as well. Okay, perfect. Now let's design our second column. Hit F and draw it from here till our fifth column like this. Then change the width to 517 and then make the height 585. And make sure it sticks to here. Then add a border and you can select the color from here. Then change the corner radius to 35. As you can see, our frame has a light background, so let's add that. Select the frame and choose the color from here. Let's add our image. So let's copy our image and then select our frame, then right click on it, then paste it here. Let's center the image in our frame. Okay, hold the Alt key and then hover like this. And then I want to move it up to 25. Now let's add our image title and description. Make it semi-bold and change the color size to 16. Let's duplicate it by hitting Ctrl and D and then drag it here. Let's change the text and make our font fade to regular. Then change the text color to RP. Now let's decrease the space between them to 10. Now select them by holding the Shift key and click on both of them, and make sure they are between our frame and our image. Now select them both and duplicate them. Drag them here and change their text. Now if you see our design, we have an icon here, so bring it to our design. Make sure to select only the icon, not the frame. I like our nav items to be uppercase, so let's do that. Select all of them and then come here to these 3 dots. As you can see, we have several options here. But for now, choose the uppercase. As you can see, we should change the position of our line as well. So select it and move it with your left arrow key. Now select our homepage frame. Then hit Ctrl and drag it to here. Okay, turn on our layout grid to help us to align objects within a frame. Now add this header. But before that, let's select all the elements except our nav bar, then group them. Now let's copy this header and paste it down here. Rename it to Popular NFTs. As you can see, we don't want this empty space, so select our header, then hit this button. Change the font size to 52. Maybe it is better to make it 160 pixels. Then change the font weight to medium. Duplicate our header and change the text to View All. Then change the font size to 24. Change the font weight to semi-bold. Then change the color to RP. Now let's create these boxes. Copy their images by holding Shift and click on them and then paste them here. Now bring one of them here. And change the space between them to 20. Maybe 40 is better. Then copy this text and paste it here. Change the text to something like this. Change the font size to 16. Duplicate the text and then type something like this. Now hit the L key and with holding shift, let's draw something like this. And bring it up to 15. Change its color to RP. What I like to do is to change its opacity to 60%. Now let's add these two. Duplicate this one, then bring it down. Then change the text to something like this one. We can change the style of these two words by selecting them like this. Now we can add the button here. Duplicate this text and bring it here. Add auto layout by holding Shift and A. Make it 27. Then change it to 4. Then add a stroke. Then change the opacity to 60. Change the corner radius to 8. Now select all of them by holding the Shift key and group them together. Rename it to column 1. Hold the Alt key and duplicate it, and bring it here like this. Now hold Ctrl and hit D 2 times till you have 4 of them like this. As you can see, it is perfectly placed where we want. Now change their names. Let's group all of our elements. And bring it below the hero section. Make sure it is still in our home page frame. Now we can change the images. Select this one, hold Ctrl Shift and C. Then come to the element we want. Then hold Ctrl and Shift, then hit the P key. Let's do the same for other elements. But what I like to do to have 150 pixels space between all of our section except the navbar. So I think it is better for now. Now let's design our next section. But before that, if you like this video and want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. It is a new channel and by doing that, you will help me and give me great energy to make more videos for you. Thank you so much. So let's copy our images first. As you can see, there is a rectangle here, but they are not connected to each other. And the images is outside of it. So let's design it. Come here and select the rectangle, or simply hit R. And draw it like this. Select the image and hit the closing bracket to bring the image to the front. Make the distance from 47 to 50 by changing the height to 243 pixels. Now remove the background color and add a border to it and make it white. Now bring the rectangle here to edit it easier. Zoom like this and double click on the line. As you can see, some dots appear. Now when you select this one, another dot appears. So click on it and then hit the delete key. Select this dot, then by holding shift, bring it like this. Now try to make it close to our design. Bring it to here, then change the space from the top to 150 pixels. Maybe it is better to make it 125. Copy this text and paste it here. Duplicate it and bring it down. Change the font size to 14 pixels. Now we need our Ethereum logo, so let's copy it from here. Let's select them all by holding Shift and group them. Now change the font color to white. Now select all of them and group them. Duplicate it and bring it here. Now select both of them and duplicate them. Then place them here. Let's change their images by holding Ctrl and Shift and hit C key. Then hold Ctrl Shift and hit P key. Now try to make our design close to the final design with your arrow keys. Copy this text and then paste it down here. Now we need to add this text to our design. Let's copy this text and then paste it down here. Now let's design our button. Hit T, then write Explore Marketplace. Make it light. Change the color to our gradient. And add auto layout by holding Shift and hitting A key. Change this one to 59. And this one to 12 pixels. Add a border with our gradient color. Then set the corner radius to 32. Change the padding to 10. Bring it up to 40 pixels. That's what we did till now. Maybe the text is smaller, so let's do that. Let me bring it there to design it easier. Now let's add this arrow icon to our button. Paste it outside of our button and remove the auto layout for a second. Bring our icon to our button and bring them here. Now it's time to add auto layout again. Now let's design our last section. Normally the last section is when we have some information about our website. For example, contact information and etc. We call the section footer. So let's design our footer. But before that, let's group these elements first and rename it. Then bring it below our popular section. Let's copy this header. Paste it down here. Change the text. And choose this button to make it one line. Let's make sure the distance between our sections is 125 pixels. Okay, now let's add our other elements. Duplicate it, then bring it below our header. Make it regular and then change the size to 32 pixels. And then change the space between them to 40 pixels. Duplicate it and bring it there. Then hold Ctrl and hit D key. Select them all. Then come here and choose this button from here to change the space between them. So for example, if I change their positions like this and then hit this button, they will be in a line. Then when I hit this button, the space between will be exactly the same. From here we can choose their spaces. Now group our links. Now hit L and hold Shift to draw a line like this. Then change the color. Now group them all and change their name. Let's turn off our layout grid and check what we did together. Let's add these colors to our design. Come to our files and copy these two. Bring the purple one to here. Alright guys, congratulations! You designed your first website using Figma. Now we can select these three and hide them from our file. Or even you can delete them if you want. Now I want to show you something else. If you select our homepage and come to prototype, add a new flow and rename it to a homepage or whatever you like. Recently Figma added another option to it, so let me show you both of them. If you hit this one, it will open a small window and you can preview your website from that. But what I usually do is to preview my designs with this one. And here is our beautiful design. If you like me to check your design, you can share the link with me from here. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to add animation and hover effects. So please subscribe to my channel and like the video. See you in the next one.